Greetings, Goddess Body, Mind, Spirit community. This is your Goddess Guru, Omilade, here to share a word of inspiration with you on your path to self-realization and self-mastery. Today is February the 3rd, 2017, and I feel led to share just what's on my mind about this year. We had a teleconference on Sunday that went exceedingly well. I recorded the teleconference, the Oracle Speaks teleconference, and we'll post a video if it's not already posted so that you can listen to it or listen to it again to get the sadhana, that the spiritual practice that we will be doing for 40 days. That's until March 10th. This 40-day sadhana is designed to help us get more grounded in our truth, in our reality, in knowing exactly who and what we are and operating from that place. The thing that stood out for me is that this is a year that is about the energy of Sango. Sango is the energy out of the Ifa tradition, out of West Africa, that is all about leadership. It is masculine energy. It is what I want to talk about in particular, because I talked about Sango in the teleconference. So just listen to the teleconference, but I don't want to lose my thought about what's coming to me this morning regarding Sango. So it is clear and evident. If you look at the Chinese New Year, this is the year of the fire rooster, which is the energy, the same energy of Sango. This energy of Sango is universal energy, and it goes by different names. When I consulted the oracles, my Egyptian or Kemetic oracle said Heru, that is Sango. When I consulted the Meridian Lagoon oracle, which is out of the Ifa tradition also, the wisdom that spoke is Obara. So this is a Sango year. And Sango is in fact all about knowing the truth of who and what you are, self-realization. But let me say it this way. This is a year of liberation. This is a year of freedom. It is about liberation and freedom on the individual level, as well as on the level of the greater community. And so I am encouraging everybody to understand that every step you take this year, it has to be a step towards liberating yourself from the lies. You know, whenever this Sango energy speaks, it is asking you to look at your constructs. It is asking you to look at the past and ask yourself, what has you captive? What stories, what narratives are you living out day by day? What are you living out day by day as if you have to? Because the truth is, we can write our story differently every day if we wish. The question is, what changes do you need to make? In the teleconference, the study I had done before really gave me something that's profound, something that I listened to Baba Obafemi of OIDSI. You could just look him up, Obafemi, OIDSI. Something that he said when talking about Obara. He said that, and this applies to his ponderings about what happened that caused Africans, so many Africans, to fall into the transatlantic slave trade. Not as the slave traders necessarily, but as the enslaved. And because it is a question, we have to ask ourselves, our people, I am of African descent, and I know that my people of African descent are great. This is the cradle of civilization. We are talking about Africa. How is it that the original people of the world, so great, so mighty, the foundation of all civilization, how did we fall so deep into something that led us to a very, very dark place, to where we, so many of us in the West, be it the USA, be it in Latin America, even the continent of Africa, to a large extent, it is struggling. How? And so the conclusion that he came to was that at some point in any culture, with any human, that you either change or you decay. You change or you decay. And that's how he came to giving this. And it just really stood out to me. Change or decay. And we are at a moment in time where we must embrace change, or else we will decay. And so it is better for us to accept that every step we make is a conscious choice towards liberating ourselves from the lies, from the stories, from the narratives. Can you move beyond what you believe yourself to be? This is what Sango is asking us to do. Sango is asking us to connect with his energy so that we can master the lessons of Sango. I admit, though I'm initiated, I am so new at understanding so much about this deep, deep tradition that stems from the wisdom called Ifa. But what I will share, this one little bit that I do know, is that the story about Sango goes that Sango was actually a living being, a human. Sango was a king, but Sango got really, really arrogant, and Sango did a lot of stuff that was so wrong. And Sango ended up feeling so horrible about what he did that he ended up hanging himself. He killed himself because he could not take what he had done. And so, but Sango was so good that he became deified. And what we want to do is we want to learn from Sango. Do we want to let our ego make us stay so stuck in our stumble that we end up killing ourselves? No, we don't want that. That's what Sango wants us to understand. Sango is saying, liberate yourselves by tapping the power within you. And that comes from discipline. When we think about a king, a good king, a true king, we're thinking about someone who has a level of discipline to run a kingdom. We're thinking about somebody who has a mind for strategy. And so that's what we are being called to do, to figure out how can we be more disciplined? What is it that we need to do? More than anything, we need to seek discipline in our daily spiritual practices. The more we do that, and this morning, what came to me is the more we tap into our spiritual practices, the more access we have to the power of the universe. The more we tap into our spiritual practices, the more we stand on the outside of the lie and the trick of the universe that wants us. We stand on the outside of the lie and the trick of the world that wants us to believe that we are powerless and that we can't figure anything out, that we can't get anything done. Okay? So we need to have discipline in our spiritual practices. And that will begin to show us the steps that we need to take. Maybe we need to get some outside help. Maybe we need to get a coach. Maybe we need to pick up a book and read about how to organize our lives. Maybe we need to read about how do we actually create good strategies so that we can achieve the goals that have been given to our spirit to achieve. And so I encourage you to call on the energy of Sango, Haru. If you are into the archangels, call on the energy of Michael. And this is also the energy of the sun. One priest that I respect greatly relates the energy of Sango to Jupiter. I don't care who you call on, what name you use. This energy, though, just call on it and ask the energy of Sango to assist you with mastering his energy within you, because you are Sango. The energy of Sango is within you. So you want to call on this energy to help you begin to master the wisdom of Sango. I have laid some of that wisdom out in the Oracle Speaks teleconference, and I have shared some of it with you in this one. In the energy that we want to connect with, the force of nature that we want to connect with is fire. So number one, you want to make sure the energy within you, the fire within you, is in balance. Do you have too much emotion going on? Emotion is an indication of water. Okay? Lots of sugar and emotion and it's just, you have to be careful of that. We want to eat a diet that helps to feed our fire. I don't believe in eating in too much protein, but if you're not eating enough protein, that can be an issue. If you're eating too many carbs, that can be an issue. Limiting sugar is very, very beneficial for keeping that fire, that inner fire within. We're wanting to ignite passion for liberation. We want to have so much passion that we do not fear anything. Fear is an indication that your ego is trying to stop you, that it's trying to make you slip, trip, and fall. You can also look at fear as an indication of exactly what you need to focus on and address. That which you fear is what you should run into, because that is where your power lies. You want to balance the power within, and you want to connect with the energy of fire without. Easy ways to do it is light a candle and focus on the flame. If you have a fireplace, light a fire in your fireplace. If you're into campfires, light a campfire. Go sit by a bonfire. If you are someplace where you're close to volcanoes, we don't want to get too close, but let's respect the fire there too. So I'm just saying, we've got to go out of our way, okay? And it's just on me. And I plan on sharing whatever else Sango gives to me, whatever my guides, my mothers give to me to share with you all. This is the message for today. Connect with the energy of Sango. This is the spirit of liberation. Liberation personally from your narratives, from the lies of the world, and liberation on the global and community levels. It is time to get free. I am Omilade, your goddess guru, thanking you for taking time to listen to this message today. My hope and prayer is that it will touch your spirit. It will bless you in a way that will inspire you to move towards knowing the truth of who and what you are, which is wonderful, which is great, which is God, Goddess. Peace.